I don't know if this will be a VOD. Going over Fallout cards for Commander, all the new ones. For specking finance purposes, I'm not, like, trying to find every edge case these cards are good in, just, like, is it worth buying these from, like, other sites? So, yeah, let's get into it. Let me, go over here, bam, bam. Probably pop out Twitch. Pop out Twitch chat. Alright, Kaisar, Mardu, 1 generic. When you attack, sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose 2. So I assume you can't pick the same thing twice. 2 red, 2 borrow soldier tokens tapped with haste that are attacking. Draw a card, lose a life. Deals damage equal to number of creature tokens you control target opponent. I don't know, Mardu Token Swarm, kind of niche strategy, I'd say. Not gonna see any legacy play. I think this is a Passerino, $2, yeah. I assume these prices here are like the single price, and like this is like, I don't know what number 1 is. Yeah, right? Just look there. Yeah, who knows? Dog Meat Ever Loyal. Enters battlefield, mill 5 cards, return an aura and equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, so 9 mana for a 3/3 dog. Low synergy with like normal cats and tribal. Whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, create a junk token. Junk are an artifact with tap, sacrifice this artifact, exile the top card, so Reckless Impulse the card. Narrow. I'm sure like the Voltron Naya decks will probably pick this up. It's actually pretty good in those, but again, niche narrow archetype. Dr. Madison Lee, Jeskai mana, 2/3, Human Scientist. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you get an energy counter. Interesting. Tap, energy, target creature gets 1/0, gains haste and trample until end of turn. Meh. 3 energy, tap, draw a card. Meh. 5 mana, or 5 energy, tap. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, this is interesting. I don't know exactly how much energy support this has. So, Jeskai artifacts, that's like kind of interesting. Yeah, it is a build. It's Jeskai artifact energy, which is kind of rough, I guess. And the Wise Mothman, Sultai, and a generic for 3/3 insect mutant, flying. When it attacks, enters the battlefield or attacks, each player gets a rad counter. Whenever 1 or more non-land cards are milled, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to X creatures, where X is the number of non-lands milled this way. So this is really interesting because you can probably enable this pretty consistently. Sultai is already a color combo that's really big into dredge and self-milling. But they kind of gated how stupid this can get because you're only putting 1 counter on any 1 creature, and it just goes wide with the axe, right? So, probably not worth specking on. But it is, I don't know, it's an interesting card, so maybe I'll just move it to the left. Liberty Prime Recharge, 2 generic, and Jeskai. Artifact creature robot, vigilance, trample, haste. Whenever Liberty Prime Recharge attacks a boss, sacrifice it unless you pay 2 energy. And so 8/8 and 2 generic tap, sacrifice an artifact, you get 2 energy and draw a card. So this is kind of interesting because if you had 7 mana, which is a lot, don't get me wrong, you could play Liberty Prime Recharge, attack, sack trigger on the stack, sacrifice another artifact to get the energy to pay for the cost. I don't think this is that great, personally. So we're gonna close this. Thank you for subscribing Forgotten Blade for 4 months. Wowee! Damn. Thank you, Forgotten Blade. 4 months. I'm a bad streamer. I don't have the sound effects set up, so I'll just crank the music for you. Hopefully that hasn't been up too long. The Master Transcendent. 2/4, Sultai, 1 generic, artifact creature mutant. Enters the battlefield, target player gets 2 rad counters. Yeah, I should look up what rad counters are just so I read it to everyone and we all know. Rad counters, MTG, Fallout. Because they're kind of weird. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, if you have any rad counters, mill that many cards. For each non-land card milled this way, you lose 1 life and a rad counter. So if you have 10, beginning pre-combat main phase, you mill 10, and if you mill 5 non-land cards, you lose 5 life, and you remove 5 rad counters, so then you go to 5. You know. So I looked that up because we were looking at the Master. It'll make someone mill a little. Tap. Put target creature card in a graveyard that was milled this turn onto the battlefield under your control. It's a... Interesting. So obviously you'd want something like Lightning Shoes with this. Ooh, this card's actually kind of interesting because, like, you don't even need to be a rad deck to potentially enable this. 4 mana, it's not the most. There's a lot of ways to build this. Mill other people, and then you start putting their stuff into play. You still get the 187 trigger. It being a 3/3 is like kind of meh, but whatever. Not sorcery speed exactly, yeah, but because it has to respond to rad counters, rocking on the opponent's turn. Okay. So I don't know if it ever gets slow, maybe, but kind of more of a general. Mr. House, President and CEO, Bardu, Human, artifact creature. Whenever you roll a 4 or higher, create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you rolled 6 or higher, instead create that token and a treasure. Okay. 4 mana tap, roll a 6-sided die plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from... Roll a 6-sided die plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from treasures that was spent to activate this ability. Okay, this is weird. This is a weird card. It might just be worth kind of keeping an eye on and maybe stalking a bit, because this is essentially like the crook's thumb or crack's thumb of coin flipping. This is probably going to be like, if we get more dice rolling stuff, this will be like the thing that gets raised along with them. Preston Garvey, Minuteman. 2 generic and Naya, Human Soldier. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a green aura enchantment token named Settlement, enchanted to up to 1 target land you control. It has enchant land, and enchant land has tap add rainbow mana. Whenever Preston Garvey Minuteman attacks, untap each enchanted permanent you control. So, I don't know what Enchantress looks like in Commander, but obviously things like Utopia Sprawl, Overgrowth, maybe even Old Growth Troll could help enable that. Good colors for enchantments for sure. Even Black has a few things to enchant its lands, like Underworld Connection, so it's not necessarily the poggest spell in the world. But that's in Black, never mind. Prob's not worth. Obviously you can build around it if you want to. Soldier is a hot trait, true. True. Alright. 146 new cards. Jesus Christ, what have I gotten myself into? Yeah. I was reading this dude before. It's a mouthful. 3 mana, Human Soldier in the list. As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. When you do, add its power to this creature's until end of turn. So, it's like a weird crew ability, kinda. Whenever a creature you control attacks, if it enlisted a creature this combat, the creature that attack gains double strike until end of turn. If that creature's power is 4 or greater, draw a card. I don't know. This is a lot of steps. I'm gonna just close this guy. Weird. 2 mana, artifact. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you get an energy. So it's white, yeah, 1 white, 1 generic. 3 energy, create a tap 3/3 colorless robot. It's a buck. It's weird. It wants you to like be punching people. We'll move it beside what was her name? Dr. Madison? Yeah. Battle of Hoover Dam. 3 generic, 1 white. Enchantment. As the Battle of Hoover Dam enters the battlefield, choose NCR or Legion. NCR, at the beginning of your end step, return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Whenever a creature you can, or Legion, whenever a creature you control dies, put 2 1/1 counters on target creature you control. This is interesting. This is kind of a lot of mana. I think I'm gonna close this. Obviously, high synergy card. Brotherhood Outcast. I thought she was holding a rifle for a second, and I'm like, where's the rifle? But no, it's just, you know, hand pose. 3 mana, Outcast, enters the battlefield, choose 1. Return target aura or equipment card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or put a shield counter on target creature. This is interesting. Obviously a Voltron card. But I don't know how particularly powerful it is, or like kind of what all those effects look like, because there just might be like way better cards that return stuff, you know? Brotherhood Scribe, 2 mana, Metalcraft tap, you get an energy. Activate it only if you control 3 or more artifacts. Whenever you get 1 or more energy during your turn, creatures you control get 1/1. Alright. We know where that's supposed to be played. It's 2 mana, pretty narrow. Pass on that. 3 mana. Commanders you control have Ward 2. No, alright, no, that's interesting. Codsworth, Handy Helper. Tap, add 2 white, spend only to cast aura or equipment spells. Tap, attach target aura or equipment you control to target creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery. Yeah, I think this is a card to put on a watch list. Maybe if it goes really low. I even think just like giving your commanders Ward 2 is already a very interesting ability. And it's kind of like got that mass appeal. Yeah, the second, they're both pretty, like, these are, like, very, obviously, powerful Voltron effects, you know? Alright, Codsworth is on a watch list. Commander, Sophia, something. 4 mana, 1 white, 3. Flash. Enters the battlefield, disrupt the 1 target legendary permanent. That permanent's controller makes a junk token. Funny. Yeah, giant hammer, for sure. Yeah, kind of like another Sigarda's Aid that also protects their commanders. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, idolized, yeah, so I guess I was muted for that. This, seems pretty good. Pretty good. Put on a watch list. It seems like it can give a pretty big plus for not too much work. Alright, over encumbered, 2 mana, 1 generic, 1 white. Enchant opponent. When this enters the battlefield, enchanted opponent creates a clue token, a food token, and a junk token. At the beginning of combat on enchanted player's turn, that player may pay 1 generic mana for each artifact they control. If they don't, creatures can't attack this combat. Hey, Black Mage. Oh yeah? Did the testing go well? This is kind of a hateful card. I'm not gonna lie, because if people are using mana rocks too, or... This is funny. Admittedly, clue, so what? Junk is 1 to activate, food's 2 to activate, clue's 2 to activate. So... Obviously, we'll see where this settles. It might never get there, just because giving your opponent stuff might be too feel bad for some people. Overseer, Vault 76, 3 mana, 2 and 1 white. First contact, whenever this or another creature with power 3 or less enters the battlefield under control, put a quest counter on it. On this. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may remove 3 quest counters from among permanents you control. Okay, so we'll stingy with quest stuff. Legendary creature. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control and they gain vigilance. And cheat out to Axamundar. Not bad, not bad. Zombie Assassin strikes again. I know it's still late, everyone. Life finds a way. Paladin Dance, Steel Maverick, 3 mana, 2 and a white. Legendary artifact creature, Synth Knight, Vigilance Lifelink. Exile this. Each creature you control that's an artifact or human gains indestructible until end of turn. We already have Dauntless Escort and kind of stuff like that. I don't really see this. I'm just closing this. I'm just closing this. Also, my Targrid deck is pretty decent. Is that the second best mono black commander? Pre-war formal wear, 3 mana, 2 and a white. Artifact equipment. When 187, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield and attach this to it. Equipped creature gets 2/2 and has vigilance, 3 mana. Oh no, I think this is a pass for me, dog. Well, I guess actually wait. So theoretically, if we had Stoneforge Mystic, the rat counters look really cool. In okay, maybe we have to think about this a little more because this can Lazarus Stoneforge Mystics. So maybe I should be a little this might see one-of play in Legacy. Like third best, she has to honestly go about her business and has no protection. Just to clarify, she's the one where if they discard a card, you get to put it into play, right? Whatever this card's name is, Steel Flagship, 6 mana, 4 and 2 white, artifact vehicle, flying. Whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, whenever a non-token artifact, 187s, create a 2/2 white human knight with this creature gets 2/2 as long as an artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn. This is a lot. This is a lot of... Yeah, this just... Oops Out Knights. It's a 6/6 with crew too, so it can whack people. Discarder sack, yeah, discarder sack. Yeah, I think she's the second best. I think Quick is the best. I'm biased though, but I do think he is probably on raw power level, and if built like medium, is OP. What do you think is number 2? Because I know what you think number 1 is, and if you think she's number 3. Securitron Squad, 2 mana, 1 and a white, artifact, creature, robot, squad 3, pay 3 each. It's kicker. For each increment of 3, you get a copy. Vigilance, whenever a creature token enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. Interesting. So the second squad will be 3. A 3/3. And then the next one will be a 4/4, because the other 2 will be in play. This is also just like an open-ed token enabler. This works with, doubling season, right? I'm not wrong. Listen, I know, like a lot of things work with doubling season, but it's just like something to keep in mind, right? Like this is interesting. We're gonna move it to a watch list. You still think is better if I don't think he's a good general though. I guess that's my complaint about Yawgmoth. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Yeah. Because, like, in theory, like, Shieldred is, like, probably individually the most powerful card out of all the things we've been talking about, but, like, she's just not a great general. In my opinion. But she's, like, really randomly good in just the game. Because she blocks stuff and, does some stupid things sometimes. Oh wait, actually wait, I have a better opinion. I think Yawgmoth, if you're more skilled and you're trying harder, Yawgmoth might be better than Tengrid. But I think Tengrid is very easy to get operational. Like, it doesn't ask much, it's not too complicated, but with Yawgmoth you have to be like, alright, what am I playing creature combos? How do I kill people? Stuff like that. And then like executing it might be harder for some people. Hashtag skill issue. Okay, Sentry Bot, 5 mana, 4 and a white. Artifact creature robot flash. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature attacking you. Enter the battlefield, gain energy for each creature attacking you. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 3 energy. If you do, put a 1 on... I'm closing this. It's a neat card, though. This is a neat card. Is a bully commander. If you aren't a Goomba, she isn't too dangerous, but she punches down really hard. Yeah. I think we more or less have, like, roughly the same idea. Sierra Nuka's biggest fan. 4 mana, 3 and a white. Creature, human, citizen, legendary. The Nuka Cola Challenge. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, put a quest counter on this and create a food token. Whenever you sacrifice a food, target creature you control gets +X where it's a number of counters. Whenever a creature does combat damage to a player, put a quest counter. My brain tells me this card just is, like, not it. It's like, I don't even think you want this in the Salmon Frodo food decks. Because getting her quest counters is kind of hard. Like, it's like, hitting people with the Salmon Frodo deck might be a bit of an issue. And I'm bringing them up because they're, like, I believe the big food commanders, right? So, yeah, I'm jettisoning her. 4 mana for each player, exile up to... Alright, so, yeah, no. Vault Dweller 13, or Vault 13, Dweller's Journey, 4 mana, 3 and a white. Saga, enters the battlefield, blah blah blah. Alright, so Saga Chapter 1. For each player, exile up to one other target enchantment or creature that player controls until this leaves the battlefield. Chapter 2. You gain 2 life and scry 2. Chapter 3. Return 2 cards exiled with this to the battlefield under their owner's control and put their... So I'm spending 4 fucking mana to temporarily, like, lock down flicker stuff? This ain't it. Oh, but streamer, if you eat them while they're in exile, they don't get them back. Oh, I got like, you can flicker your own thing for 4 mana, for 4 whole mana. Like, yeah, this is return 2 cards exiled. Oh wait, no, you return 2. You return 2 cards exiled. Okay, maybe this is a little better. It's still 4 mana though, which is like a little expensive. So you'll get your thing back, and one of your opponents will get something back, something trash. Maybe even like... Actually, I wonder how this works with tokens. Since if you target a token, it no longer exists when it's exiled. So it's not eligible to be returned with Chapter 3. Bottom of the owner's libraries. I think this is just mid. It's okay. It's like good plus. Vault 75, middle school, 4 mana, 2 white. Saga, Chapter 1, exile all creatures with power 4 or greater. Chapter 2 and 3, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So, kind of funny, right? Like, you kill all the big stuff, and then you make all your stuff bigger. Maybe. Vault 101, Birthday Party, 4 mana, 3 and a white. Saga. Chapter 1, create a 1/1 white human soldier token and a food token. Okay, got a little rad roach. This is our Fallout 3 event. Chapter 2 and 3. You may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. If an equipment is put onto the battlefield... Okay, so just like... The guard is a variant number 7 at this point. This is fine. This is like... It makes the thing. It brings 2 things back. Yeah, like... Auras or equipment. Put on a watch list. I'd have to do this in 2 parts. Yes Man. Personal Securitron. 3 mana, 2 and a white. Legendary artifact creature robot. 2/2. Tap. Target opponent gains control of this. When they do, you draw 2 cards and put a quest counter on Yes Man. Activate only during your turn. Wild card. When Yes Man leaves the battlefield, its owner creates a tapped 1/1 white soldier for each quest counter on it. Should these be white soldiers? Should these be more resembling like you get it? I don't know. I feel like the thing this makes isn't the best lore. Oh no, though. I don't know what it should be. Like, maybe it should be raiders. Maybe it should be like the goons that live in New Vegas. Maybe it should be Securitrons. Neat card, though. Not very good, in my opinion. So, I'm gonna close it. Fury, Emergent Intelligence, 2 mana, 1 in a white, 1 in a blue. Legendary Artifact Creature Robot. Whenever... Oh, 4/1/3. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to its base power. So, 1. Interesting. And then, activated ability, 1 and a blue, exile another non-token artifact creature you control. This becomes a copy of the exiled creature, except it has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to its base power. I don't... I'm not picking this up. I don't know. This is like a lot of work to get, like, card draws. Like, yeah, you're jumping through way too many hoops. And again, this is a finance stream for, like, specking. You know, this isn't... I try to make every card in Fallout work. Alright, James, Wandering Dad. So, let's start the adventure. Follow him. X2 blue, instant adventure. Investigate X times. Bad card. Very mana inefficient. My god. Alright, so for 3 mana, 2 and a blue, you get a human scientist, tap, add 2 colorless, spend only activate abilities for 2/4. The value, yeah. You can play it in Legacy Indomitable Creativity. I'm sure this card will have a home somewhere. I'm not trying to find out where that is. Jason Bright, Glowing Prophet. 3 mana, 2 and a blue. Legendary, Mutant, Zombie, Advisor. Whenever a zombie or mutant you control dies, if its power was different from its base power, draw a card. So if it was augmented, essentially, right? Oh, you're banning the word. I really need to get rid of those rewards. I gotta open my timer. Pray for me, chat. I don't think we're gonna make it. Come fly with me. 2 mana, sack a creature, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control against flying. This is actually kind of neat. Because in theory, in zombies, right, in blue-black zombies, when you sacrifice your stuff, if you have like Undead Warchief in play, you can draw cards, so that could get you a lot of card advantage. Not the Beaver. Technically, what is the best Fallout card in MTG? Soul Ring, technically. Oh, I missed the McQueen. I think caster mode is killing my browser. Also doesn't help I have 80 tabs open. Mirelurk Queen, 5 mana, 4 and a blue. Crab, Mutant, Vigilance, enters the battlefield, target player gets 2 rad counters. Whenever 1 or more non-land cards are moved this way, draw a card, then put a 1/1 counter on Mirelurk Queen. This ability triggers only once each turn. Whenever draw a card, then put it once each. Well, obviously the. Wait, whenever one. This is just. I think this is just a potentially very interesting card for Commander. Because you can put this in a mill deck. You can put this like blue-black Dimir, you're milling people out. You can put this in Sultai Self-Mill. You can obviously it goes in a rad deck. You can draw a lot of cards. It can get really jacked. Yeah, I think there's like a lot of broad applications for this. It's a little chunky. 5's a little chunky. A little bit of a throat bug. Nerd Rage, 3 mana, 2 and a blue, Aura. At this battlefield, draw 2 cards. You'll love to see it. Enchanted creature has... You have no maximum hand size, and whenever this creature attacks, if you have 10 or more cards in hands, it gets +10/+10 until end of turn. Blue players only want one thing, and it's fucking disgusting. This is a meme card. I don't think it's particularly good. It's fucking funny, though. Nick Valentine, Private Eye. Pump spell? Well, the pump spell is you need 10 cards, right? Yeah, Private Eye, 3 mana, 2 and a blue. Can't be blocked except by artifact creatures. Whenever Nick Valentine or another artifact creature you controls dies, you may investigate. I don't... Maybe I'm just out of touch, but like, I don't think there's a lot of artifact creature sack advantage decks. I can't use the V word. Yeah, I not. I don't know. I'm passing on this. Pepperwright, public reporter. Well, I'm looking for specs, right? I'm not looking for I'm not trying to give every card a home. You know, so I'm sure there's other content creators that'll be like, here's my 40-page thesis on why this Valentine Private Eye is like 80 million. With Foundry. Oh, which Foundry? Bottom mono blue, there's a couple that would be worthless. Or worth something, I assume. Yeah. Alright, Pepperwright, public reporter. Public with a CK. Thopter Foundry? You're not wrong, you're not wrong. Oh wait, and also, so if you have Thopter Foundry and Academy Manufacturer, the thing that whenever you create one of the tokens, you create all the like the clues and treasures. KCI. It's KCI with more steps. You'll have to see it. Crackland Ironworks, 4-mana artifact, sacrifice an artifact that you cost 2-mana pool. No one knows. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, why are we investigating so much? I don't want to spend mana to draw cards. I just want the cards. Just put it in my veins. Just whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Also, she's not a rogue. She's not a rogue. Detective's not a supported tribe. It like they maybe have like 2 cards from MKM. Fuck this. I'm gonna eat these words. There's gonna be like some card that like, oh, you can tap your clues for mana. Are you saying the art is cute or the card is cute? The card? Okay. Stay respectful, Donnie Tigerser. I'm watching you. Alright, Rad Storm. The card that is $30 apparently. Actually think 401 games is sold out at 10. Oh, anyways, I should read the spell. 4 mana, 3 and a blue, instant Storm. I'm not reading what Storm does. I will read what Proliferate does, because I got it wrong on the weekend. Choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. I think they changed the wording in the 80 years since Skies of Mirrodin came out. This is a card. It'll do stupid stuff. I don't think this card will ever be cheap, though. I should probably still put it on the watch list, because that's what watch lists are for. Wait, you did used to be able to tick down? Because that's what I thought. That's what I said. And then they called me a dummy, and they pushed me in the mud. Storm, always good and healthy for the game. You're goddamn right, Rusty R. You're goddamn right. Groundrift never hurt anyone. Let Groundrift free. That was a statement. Alright. Robo-Brain Warmind. Yeah, so in conclusion, I don't know. If this card ever gets cheap, like if they info print this and this is like mega dummy cheap, then yeah, like pick it up, right? Because I think Proliferate's just a very open-ended mechanic. It's kind of fun. There's things like Everflowing Chalice, Planeswalkers, Poison counters is SDR artifact, and it's giving me Chub. My god. Like, what are the effects here? That gives someone poison, then Storm 9. Yeah, because, Phyrexia all will be one, right? They had a ton of just, like, ping you for one. Yeah, so... Fast counters. It's an instant, yeah, right? So you can play it during your opponent's turn, when everyone else has built up Storm. You're just bandwagoning. So, yeah. It's powerful, but it's also, like, already 30 to 50 bucks for a reason, you know? The people know. Robo Brain Warmind. 4 mana, 3 generic, 1 blue, robot artifact. Power toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. Oh, it's an X5. So if our cards in hand equals power. When this enters the battlefield, you get energy equal to the number of artifact creatures you control. When this attacks, you may pay 3 energy if you do... What? No, this is so much... This is too much of a Rube Goldberg machine for 1 card. Just, yeah. Like, you need it's so much work. Yeah, oh, Johnny, because they played Steady Progress to tick down Chalice, right, in Legacy, so Blue-Black Reanimator could beat a Chalice of the Void. Weak robot. Struggle for Project Purity. I like this art. Just fucking clocking them. 4 mana, 3 and a blue, enchantment, enters the battlefield, choose by the Hood or Enclave. I also love the choice ones where it's different factions, so it's like, it's way neater. Brotherhood, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent draws a card. You draw a card for each card drawn this way. I like how they worded the second part, because if you're like Narsetting them, or doing any cockily weaselly stuff, you don't get the bonus. Like, they get to get, like, if they're getting it, you get the kickback. You can't weasel out of it. This is 4 mana, draw 3. But it's every turn, right? So, but they all draw 1 too. It's weird. Actually, wait a minute. So if you're time walking... Wait, if you're time walking, this is really good. Like, turn 4 this, turn 5 time warp. Each time warp, you're drawing 3 extra cards. This is interesting. Enclave. Whenever a player attacks you with 1 or more creatures, that player gets twice that many rad counters. So, am I retarded? Whenever a creature attacks you with 1 or more creature, it gets that many, twice that many. So, is this saying if I'm attacked with 3 creatures, they get 6 rad counters? Is that how this card works? I think I'm putting this on a watch list anyways. Yes, okay. Just because Magic cards are so explicit about such insane shit. And then with this, they're just like, nope. Yeah, I think this card... I think Brotherhood is, like, very interesting with Time Warp. Time Warp is one of my favorite commander tribes. I love Time Warps. Never touched one in my life, but I like them. I like them I like their vibe. Synth Infiltrator, 5 mana, 3, 2 blue. Artifact, creature, synth. Improvise. Your artifacts can help cast this spell. What the hell? What's this like? That's so weird. It's like, just tell me what it does. You don't have to give me the primer. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities. What? Each you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1. Okay, they did change the reminder text of this. So essentially you tap a clue token, you can reduce this by 1 generic. Unless add a stroke. Oh yeah, we made that up. You could never remove counters, that's Convoke. Oh, okay. Badge. But you could tick up Chalice to get around Chalice for 1. And then cast Reanimate. You may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's a synth. This is fine. This is fine. This is just like another clone. There are 40 million clones. We're gonna get 40 million more. It can be a cheap clone. You can use your non-mana rocks as... yeah. Bird. Oh, we have one more. Vexing Radgull. 2 mana. Fuck, this thing scares me. Fucking gulls. 1 generic, 1 blue. Mutant bird. Flying. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 red counters if they don't have any red counters. Otherwise, proliferate. Okay, so it goes to 2, and then... damn, this one is rad. Ha ha ha. Technically, what is the best clone spell? My heart says body double, because that's what I used to play to get Chromas into play in Standard. Back in Ravnica Standard. When dinosaurs walked the earth. This is neat. Wait, this is $1? This is the first kind of cheap card we've seen tonight, I think. Sorry about the black screen, or the black mode filter thing. I am trying to get to sleep. I don't want to burn my eyes out. That goes in... yeah. Also, we can go in Planeswalkers, like... we can close Rad, I guess. Actually, no, we'll reopen Rad. Alright, I can say value again. Let's fucking go. Yeah, we'll keep this over here. The set does have boosters, though. The set does have boosters, so rarity does matter. And I have cranked Flux to the point where I can't easily tell what a card's rarity is. I've been blocked from saying the holy word again. Alright, where is the rarity? This is uncommon. Okay, so this will be cheap because there are boosters. But maybe this is something like you try to get it for 50 cents. The rarities are still on the bottom left corner. True! Black Mage with the facts. Facts and logic. Bloatfly. 4 mana, 3 and a black. Insect, mutant, creature, flying, 0/0. Enters the battlefield with 5 1/1 counters. If damage would be dealt, the Bloatfly Swarm Wall has 1/1 counters on it. Prevent that much damage. Remove that many 1/1 counters from it. Then give each player a rad counter. Ooh. Ooh, this is uncommon. It's a lot of mana. I think this is a pass. But this is neat. This is just fucking neat. I'm closing it. Butch Deloria. Tunnel Snake. 2 mana. 1 and a black. Human Rogue. Menace. For 2/2. Tunnel Snake's rule. Exclamation point. Whenever Butch attacks, it gets 1/1 until end of turn for each other rogue and or snake you control. It literally gets buffed by snakes. 1 and a black, activated ability, put a menace counter on another target creature, it becomes... huh. This is uncommon. This is kinda decent. Boosts up Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, I think that'll be... I do wonder if we're gonna see a Steam spike on Fallout games after the release, you know? Magic President like, eh. I'm kind of a rogue cuck, so I'm gonna put that over there. It's on my watch list. Feral Ghoul, 3 mana. Zombie Mutant, or 3 mana, 2 and a black. Zombie Mutant, Menace, 2/2. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on this. Okay. Whenever this dies, each opponent gets a number of rad counters equal to its power. And this is a zombie. This is a zombie that gets something when things die. This is a zombie that does something when it dies. This is a rare. I think this is watchlistable. I'm not saying it's broken or anything, but the zombie demographic, the zombie lobbyists are very powerful. New Vegas didn't get much love this set, rather the veteran rangers of the NCR didn't get much love. Oh yeah? Are there just no NCR rangers? Because we saw some Legion stuff. Alright, I am going to... And phallus. I don't know if I can say that word on Twitch. Ghoulish Mare. 3 mana, 2 generic, 1 black. For 2/1, legendary zombie mutant advisor. Ooh, zombies! Yeah, zombies are getting some love. Each other creature you control, that's a zombie or mutant, gets +X/+X, where X is the number of counters on hand, phallus, ghoulish mare, and has undying. So this is just... This is bad. Because it doesn't do anything until it dies. And obviously, I'm not focusing too much on mutants, since they're going to be, like, relatively shallow as a tribe compared to zombies for commander. You have to kill this to get the benefit. I don't know. Maybe semi-watchlistable. Interested in what Black Mage 665 thinks about it. I think he likes dead people. This has a busted combo, right? Maybe? It has Undying, so it's a fair question. Maybe it does have a busted combo. But it's just only pumping, right? It's not doing anything too insane. Infesting Radroach, 3 mana, 2 and a black. Insect Mutant, 2/2, flying, can't block, always getting in there. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, they get that many rad counters. Whenever an opponent mills a non-land card, if it's in your graveyard, you may return to your hand. Uncommon. I don't think this is very good. And I know I was going on about, oh, rad counters are good, and blah blah blah. But you don't get rad counters till turn 4. With this, and like it's just, it's a little meh. It's a little meh for me. Nuclear Fallout. That's the name of the game. X 2 black, so just X in a crookback. Sorcery. Each creature gets twice -X/-X until end of turn. Each player gets X rad counter, so you get them too. Watch list. This is going on my watch list. I don't know if I'll play it, but it's interesting. So each player only gets 1x. 1x, yeah. Any playable card? No joke. A few that I saw. If you're just coming in. Are you looking for Commander or for Legacy? Ruthless Radrat. 3 mana, 1 and 2 black. Rat Mutant, 2/2. Squad. Exile 4 cards from your graveyard. Wait a minute, so instead of paying mana, I can exile cards from my graveyard to get that many more. Menace. Uncommon. Interesting. Very interesting. Or is a reasonable amount to mill. And this doesn't have any extra text. And I don't think rats are super good. Okay, the only legacy card I saw that like was maybe worth considering is there is a 3 mana equipment. I'm trying to find it. There's a 3 mana equipment that, when it comes into play, it returns a creature with a mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand, or to play. So you could maybe... It didn't save it, apparently. Awkward. So it's like, maybe it's something to consider with Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, Preformal War Rare. Formal... Yeah, pre-war formal wear. Say that 10 times fast. Enter the battlefield, return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and attaches to it, gets 2/2 in vigilance. Oh no, like, I know True Name Nemesis isn't legal anymore, or playable really, but this targeting a Stoneforge Mystic is kind of interesting, maybe? Kinda gotta keep this kind of stuff in mind, like, this might be a one of, like, Cryptic Coat. But I'm not a Stoneforge Stoneblade player. Yeah. But I don't think I saw anything else for Legacy, because the bar is so high, right? I am closing... actually, I'm putting this on a watch list. I don't know. Oh, no. I keep doing that. I keep opening the one up top for some reason. Screeching Scorch Beast, 6 mana, 4, 2 black, Bat Mutant, 5/5, Flying Menace. When it attacks, each player gets 2 rad counters. Whenever one or more non-black creatures are milled, you may create that many 2/2 black zombie mutant tokens. Do this only once each turn. I think this is a pass. Maybe? That many? We'll see. This, in theory, can poop out a lot of tokens. Yeah. Bats. 4 mana. 2 black, instant, split second. Choose any number of target creatures with equal toughness. So they all need the same toughness. Destroy the chosen creatures. The Vault-Tec assisted targeting system redefines combat. Get your VATS today. Yeah, I'm putting this on the watch list. So what, you can kill infinite, like, saplings, zombies, like, any infinite swarm tokens, you can knock them down. This stops Splinter Twin. At split second. Yeah, I think this is just very unique and interesting. So, we'll keep that on the watch list. Vault 12, the Necropolis. 6 mana for 2 black Saga. Chapter 1, each player gets 3 rad counters. Chapter 2, create X 2/2 black zombie mutant creature tokens, where X is the total number of rad counters among players. Interesting. Put 2 1/1 counters on each creature you control that's a zombie or mutant. Okay, so this is kind of like Titania's Command, but as a black zombie saga, right? It is a little narrow. I don't know if this should go in every zombie deck, but it's worth pondering, I think. There's a lot of watchlist cards. My browser's gonna explode. Wasteland Raider. 4 mana, 2 and 2 black, Human Mercenary, Squad 2, so kicker 2, generic each time, get a copy. When this enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. This is so expensive. It is a rare, though. This is really interesting. But I think at the end of the day, it's a pass. At the end of the day, it's a pass. It's just a lot of mana. Like, to get more than one trigger. Acquired Mutation. Roll onto the red cards. 3 mana, 2 and a red. Necrotol. Necrotol, I believe that was first printed in Visions. Card mutation, yeah. 2 in a red, aura. Enchanted creature gets 2/2 and is goaded. It attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you. If able. Whenever enchanted player attacks, defending player gets 2 rad counters. I don't think these goaded cards are ever worth much. Outside of, like, obviously the ones that make everything goaded, but like the 3 mana goad auras. I'm right? Excellent. I love to hear it. 2 mana, Assaultron Dominator. 1 in a red, robot artifact, 2/2. Enter this battlefield, get 2 energy. Whenever an artifact you control attacks, you may pay energy. If you do, put your choice of a 1/1 counter, first strike, or trample counter on that creature. Old school? I am... Like, are you asking if I've played old school? Or if I know about it? I know about it a bit. I played it a few times, but not too much. What do we think of this card? I think this is a pass, just because of the artifact creature clause. It makes it way more narrow. If it didn't have the artifact creature clause, I think this would be very interesting. Because being able to distribute these effects twice... Possible. Me? Not a big old school guy at the moment. I kind of like pre-modern more. Bottle Cap Blast, 5 mana, 4 in a red, instant. Improvise. So you tap your artifacts to reduce the cost by 1. This deals 5 damage to any target. If excess damage was dealt to a permanent this way, create that many tapped treasure tokens. Uncommon. So this is a removal spell that can also be a ramp spell. Let's keep this in mind. Because I think most, like, tiny targets you want to blow up are like 2 to 3 toughness in Commander. Like the smaller targets, obviously not like mega bombs being thrown out. So, in theory, this kind of reads like 5 mana, shoot something, add 2 treasures, which is draw 2 Lotus Petals. And that actually seems very interesting. And open-ended. So, Crimson Caravaneer, 3 mana Caravaner. 2 and a red. Human Scout, 1/2. Double Strike. God's Mechanic. Trample. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, create a junk token. So tap. Exile top card, you can play it until end of turn. Activate a sorcery. Uncommon. I think I'm closing this. The junk token is a little, like, meh. It's obviously a very interesting double striker, though. Junk tokens are kind of cool, but they're no treasure tokens. Love me a treasure token. Duchess, Wayward, Tavern Keep, 4 mana, 3 in a red. 4/3 Legendary Human Citizen. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a quest counter on it. 1 generic, remove a quest counter from a permanent you control, create a junk. Rare. Pass for me. I think this is a pass. Ian the Reckless, 2 mana, 1 generic, 1 red, 2/1. Legendary Human Warrior. When this attacks, if it's modified, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to you and any target. What is equipment, auras you control, encounters, or modifications? So I could, like, say this had a Bone Splitter on it. I could have it do 4 damage to something and 4 damage to me. This is interesting. I do wonder if people won't like it because you're taking damage, but, like, if you're trying to murder people, this is an amazing ability if you have it turned on. Also, if you have Colossal Hammer, you know, it's like, I take 12, do 12 to you, take 12. Yeah, actually, this with Colossal Hammer is funny. Junk Jet, 2 mana, 1 and a red. Just a battlefield, create a junk token. It's an artifact equipment. 1 mana to equip. Sacrifice another artifact, double equipped creature's power until end of turn. They value again, and we're never using that timer again on stream. Damn, that was loud. This is a pass. It's just 3 mana to activate this is a little much. Grim Reaper Sprint, 5 mana, 4 and a red. Aura. The spell costs 3 less if a creature died this turn. Morbid. Enchant creature. When Grim Reaper Sprint enters the battlefield, untap each creature you control. If it's your main phase, then is an additional combat phase after this. Enchanted creature gets 2/2 in haste. So this is potentially a 2 mana Relentless Assault. That's an aura. Haste. I think there's something to consider there for sure. We did those. Megaton's Fate. 6 mana, 5 and a red. Sorcery. Choose 1, disarm. Destroy target artifact, create 4 treasures. Detonate. Megaton's Fate deals 8 damage to each creature. Each player gets 4 rads. Rare. So, what is this? Good and Stuffy Doll, Boros Reckoner, the modular card. I don't think people appreciate modular cards as much as they should. So this is like a sweeper or artifact removal spell. The treasures are I don't know, I think this is worth thinking about for sure. It has combo potentials, it could just be a regular sweeper. It's a ramp spell, like this just does so much. It is pricey though. The Motherlode Excavator, 5 mana, 3, 2 red. Legendary artifact robot. When it enters the battlefield, choose target opponent. You get energy equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. None of this attacks. You may pay 4 energy. If you do, destroy target non-basic land defending player controls, and creatures that player controls without flying can't block this turn. This is a pass for me. It's very cool though. This is like Avalanche Riders on cocaine. But Avalanche Riders isn't particularly based, and also it needs the attack trigger. And it's only hitting one opponent in a format where, you know, multiplayer, right? So I think we just leave it alone. Mysterious Stranger, 4 mana, 2 and 2 red, 3/2, human rogue, flash, enters the battlefield. When this enters, for each graveyard with an instant or sorcery card in it, exile target instant or sorcery card from that graveyard. If 2 or more cards are exiled this way, or it's for each graveyard with an instant or sorcery, so you exile one of them. And if 2 or more are exiled this way, choose one of them at random and copy it. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Yeah, this is like Snapcaster Mage Chaos Edition. I think relatively easy to set up in something like Is It or whatever. You know, you have some time warps in there and, you know, just pick something good your opponents have. Maybe it's meh. Worth pondering. Plasma Cutter, 2 mana, 1 in a red. Artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets 1/1. When it attacks, you get 2 energy. Pay 2 energy. Choose target creature that's blocking equipped creature. Flip a coin. If you win the flip, exile the chosen creature. Otherwise, Plasma Cutter deals 1 damage to it, 2 mana to equip. This is a pass for me. Also, I don't think this is quite legacy playable for the Stoneblade players. Cool, but mid. Yeah. I will say, I think a lot of the, like, almost, like, a ton of the Universe Beyond cards are all, like, kind of cool in some way, right? And if you like the IP, then, you know, pretty poggers. Outer Ganger. 3 mana, 2 in a red, Human Rogue, Squad 2. When it's enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target artifact. So this is like Vandal Smasher or something. There's a 3 mana 2/2 that ETBs destroys an artifact. This is slightly better. This is strictly better. It's so rare. I don't really think this is... Maybe, I don't know. You know, I'm gonna pin this. If someone has Doubling Season or the copy token stuff, maybe some wacky stuff can happen. But it's probably gonna be a pass. Thrill Kill Disciple, 3 mana, 2 in a red, Human Mercenary for a 3/2, Squad 1, and discard a card. So, hey, when you cast it, pay the additional cost of that, 1 and discard a card. When this dies, create a junk token. I think this is a pass for me, despite having one of the more interesting squad effects. It's just, like, not the best, I think. Rose Cutthroat Raider, 4 mana, 2 and 2 red, 3/2. Artifact, Legendary, Robot, First Strike, Raid. At the beginning of combat on your turn, at the end of combat on your turn, if you attack this turn, create a junk for each opponent you attacked. Whenever you sacrifice a junk, add red. So essentially makes junk only cost 0 to do. Oh, what? You got to draw cards to send... I don't know. I'm gonna close it. Something about the attack clause doesn't quite sit right with me. Synth Eradicator, 3 mana, 2 and a red. Artifact Synth Soldier, 3/3 haste. Whenever this attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may get 2 energy counters. If you don't, you may play that card this turn. Tap, pay 3 energy, deals 3 damage to any target. This is, it's just an interesting card, right? I don't think Soldier is particularly good for Commander in red. But it does pin my feelings on that last card. Kinda cool, but mid. Oh yeah, you're a mod. What have I done? Alright, I'm gonna have to close some tabs because I think Chrome is committing Sudoku. Veronica, Dissident Scribe, 3 mana. 3 mana, 2 and a red, 3/3. Legendary Human Artificer Rogue, Menace. When it attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Homage. Whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards for the first time each turn, create a junk token. It is fine, but very mid, I think. Also not 100% sure what red wants to do in EDH. Wild Wasteland. This was a option you could pick in New Vegas. 3 mana, 2 and a red. Enchantment. Skip your draw step. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. So this is the red Phyrexian Arena, essentially. Oh, there's that 3-mana Blade Reforged creature that's like really good in Cube. That's getting reprinted in... It's good in Cube, it's good in Legacy. And it's being reprinted in Modern. So I guess that card gets like a ton of like power up as a commander if like red is getting 80,000 junk effects. Yeah, I think this is worth looking at because again, yeah, it's super sick. The Wild Wasteland perk was option was also super sick. Yeah. Worth looking at. I guess they're just really trying to promote like red card advantage. Animal Friend, 2 mana, 1 green, aura. Enchanted creature has whenever this creature attacks, make a 1/1 squirrel. Put a 1/1 counter on that token for each aura and equipment attached to this creature other than Animal Friend. I scratch their back, they scratch you. Yeah, Johnny, do you know if the squirrel lobbyists are they powerful still? I remember squirrels used to be like a bigger thing. Oh, I missed this card, so it's a good thing I accidentally opened it. Alright, Vault 21, House Gambit. 2 mana, 1 and a red. Chapter 1 and 2, Rummage. Chapter 3, reveal up to 5 non-land cards from your hand. For each of those cards that has the same mana value as another card revealed this way, create a treasure token. The next standard set is for them. But do they buy cards still? Or have they been sufficiently like mined out as a demographic? Bloomborough. Alright, so you play this turn 2, chapter 1. Turn 3, chapter 2, turn 4, chapter 3. Show 5 cards. If you get the full house, you get 5 treasure. Rare. I think this card's interesting. You think they've been mined out? Otters. Does not bode well for the animal aura. Bighorn Rancher, 5 mana, 2/5, Human Ranger, Vigilance, tap. Add an amount of green equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Sacrifice this. Gain life equal to the greatest toughness among other creatures you control. I assume the sees itself when you sack it, so you can always gain 5. I think this is kind of Winmori. Like, if you have a 10 power creature in play, you're already, like, kind of done your thing. I'm closing this card. Breakdown. Alright, am I the only one who, like, I see Thanos when I see this card. So Breakdown, 3 mana, 2 and a green, instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, create a junk. So, this gives you card advantage. Three mana, though, is kind of a lot for this effect. I think removal's gotten better. What did it cost you? 2 and a green. I think this is worth watchlisting, though. Cathedral Acolyte, 2 mana, 1 and a green, Human Cleric, 1/2. Each creature you control with a counter on it has Ward 1. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature that entered the battlefield this turn. Uncommon. Alright, I think possibly worth watching. I gotta stop pinning stuff. Glowing one. 3 mana, 2 and a green. Zombie Mutant, 2/2. Death Touch. Deals combat damage to a player, they get 4 rad counters. Whenever a player mills a non-land, you gain 1 life. Oh. That can maybe see play as a 1-of? No. Not modern legal. So unless Yawgmoth is legacy played, which I don't believe it is, but I'm willing to be proved wrong. Let me just double check the format. Yeah, not legal, not legal. But if yeah, because in theory you could if they tried removing your stuff, you could give your thing a -1/-1 counter potentially to keep it alive. Yeah, for sure. This is interesting. Obviously this makes mill work, or the rad stuff work. Actually, I think this is kind of meh. It's very all in on rad. So I will not be. It will not make my watch list. Lumbering Mega Sloth? What the fuck? Gunner Conscript, 2 mana, 1 and a green, Human Mercenary, 2/2, Trample. Gets 1/1 for each aura and equipment attached to it. When this dies, create a... If it was enchanted, create a junk. If it was equipped, create a junk. Yeah, it's just a Voltron card. Admittedly, it is a Voltron card of all time, but, yeah, I'm not, I don't think the Voltron players are gonna be my retirement specs. Harold and Bob, first Newmans, 3 mana, 2 and a green, legendary Treefolk Mutant, 3/3, the Ants are marching again, Kappa, Will and Reach. When Harold and Bob dies, if it was a creature, return to the battlefield. It's an aura enchantment with enchant forest you control, and enchanted forest has tap at 3 mana of any one color. You get 2 rad counters. Bob and Harold loses all other abilities. Okay, yeah. So comes back as an aura. I have no fucking idea. I don't know how to think about this card. I think it's probably worse than Overgrowth Troll, or like maybe a bit better, but like I don't think that card's making waves in Commander. Lily Bowen, a Raging Grandma, 4 mana, 3 and a green. Legendary Mutant Warrior, 0/0 Vigilance. Enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of 1/1 counters on Lily Bowen if its power is 16 or less. So 2, 4, 8, 16. Otherwise, remove all but 1/1 counter from it, then you gain 1 life for each counter removed this way. So, this is neat. This could get pretty big. Prob's not worth it. A lot of work, takes time. But cool. Lumbering Mega Sloth, 12 mana, 10/2 green. Sloth, Mutant, 8/8. This costs 1 less for each counter among players and permanents. Trample. Enters the battlefield tapped. My god. Actually, 8/8's not that big. I don't know. Is a 2 mana 8/8 even that good in Commander? Because you can't do this in Legacy. I'm willing to say no. I don't think a 2 mana 8/8 that comes into play tapped with Trample is particularly poggers. Like, especially not on turn 2, right? This will be like turn 4, turn 5 play. Usually, like best case scenario, a couple of people have some rad counters on them, or some planeswalkers, and maybe you have some yeah, I think it's just like, I don't think Commander's in the spot where an 8/8's particularly insane. Alright, I'm gonna wrap up green, and then I'll do the other ones in another stream, because this late and my voice is killing me. Yeah, if you've been enjoying the content, click like and consider following for more variety gaming content from me, Reckless T. Hour Fist, 2 mana, 1 and a green. Equipment. Equipped creature has trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put that many 1/1 counters on it. 2. Interesting. Very interesting. A true Voltron card. Not Legacy playable. Not Stoneforge Mystic playable. Rampaging thing. Yao Gui? I don't know. X, 3 green. Bear Mutant. Sorry about that. Yeah, Vigilance Trample 2/2. Enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters. Enters the battlefield, destroy any number of target artifacts or enchantments with total mana value X or less. Huh. So it's like a weird, naturalized, pernicious deed kind of hybrid creature. Also, this would be way more interesting if this said, with total mana value equal to the number of 1/1 counters on this or less. Because then if doubler stuff happened. What's the CMC of Pest Infestation? I think, yeah. XX green. So what? 3 mana, you destroy 1. 5 mana. Oh, destroy twice X. Yeah, twice X is what makes us nutters. So for 3 mana, you're destroying 2. And for 5 mana, you're destroying 4. But this only hits value X or less. So I think this is worse, right? I assume that's what you're getting at, Johnny. And I kind of agree. If you are. Yeah. Because you can't hit like a big dumb thing they tinker into play. Strong back. 3 mana, 2 and a green. Aura. Enchant creature. Equip abilities you activate that target enchanted creature costs 3 less to activate. Aura spells you cast that target enchanted creature costs 3 less to activate. Enchanted creature gets 2/2 for each aura and equip. Okay, well obviously this is like, yeah, the Nutter Butters Voltron card. This is Ancestral Mask on 2018 Fire Era Cocaine. Ancestral Mask is just basically, I know it's like a little broader, but yeah, kind of like, it's just so clearly meant to do this thing, you know? Strong, the Brutish Thespian. 6 mana, 4, 2 green. Mutant Berserker Legendary 7/7, War 2. Whenever this is dealt damage, you get 3 rad counters and put 3 1/1 counters on Strong. You gain life rather than lose life with radiation. Alright, another narrow kind of rad card. I don't think this is particularly good, though. Obviously, though, if it gets, like, to 12 cents or whatever, maybe we're thinking about it then, but whatevs. Super Mutant Scavenger, 5 mana, 4 and a green. Mutant Warrior, 5/5 Trample. Enters the battlefield or dies, return up to 1 target aura. Or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. I don't think this is particularly good. I feel like there's probably better get your junk back cards. Kind of interesting that like its base stats are like reasonable, but also I don't know how to approach or really evaluate the Voltron people. They just do their thing. I don't think they're a big demographic, but it feels like a lot of these cards are like dealing with it, which is kind of annoying, but maybe I'm out of pocket. Tato Farmer, 3 mana, 2 and a green. Zombie, Mutant, Pheasant, 1/4. Landfall. When a land enters the battlefield under control, you may get 2 rad counters. Tap. Put target land card in a graveyard that was milled this turn onto the battlefield tapped under your control. This can steal other people's lands. You can take your opponent's lands. You can wasteland your opponent and then take the land. You can strip mine your opponent and then take the land. This is worth keeping an eye on, I think. Cool card, yeah. I think it's pretty obviously kind of a wait. Also, you can just take fetches, right? You can take fetches that works with rad. Oh, was milled. It has to have been milled. My bad. That's probably a pass then. Yeah, I thought it was more open. Yeah. Alright, Watchful Radstag. 3 mana, 2 and a green. Mutant Elk, 2/2. Evolve. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature is greater power or tough to send this creature, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So, you know, you play bigger things, it gets bigger. Yeah, not super busted. Playable. I don't think speckable, though. Again, unless it becomes like 7 cents or something, then, like, you know, maybe you could do something. Whenever Watchful Radstag evolves, create a token that's a copy of it. So, unless I'm drunk, the copy token will not have the counters, right? So it'll just be a normal 2/2. But then the copies will be easier to evolve because they will be 2/2s. Yeah, I think this card can kind of do some silly things. I would not be surprised if there was a busted combo with it. I will pin it. I will sacrifice Ram upon the altar of Watchful Radstag. Well rested. 2 mana, 1 and a green. Aura. Equipped creature has, whenever this creature becomes untapped with 2 1/1 counters on it, then you gain 2 life and draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. I don't know, just a good-ish Voltron card. I don't think this has a lot of broad use. You can kind of get 2 for 1, though people don't really play as much removal as they should in Commander. But gaining life, getting bigger, drawing card. Pass, but playable card. So yeah, that's we're gonna stop at green. My voice is dying, and it's a little late. So in conclusion, how do we feel about this? I thought some of the like uncommon stuff, some of the cheaper uncommon stuff was like a little interesting. This might be legacy viable, but like probably not. That's probably just cope as hell. But it would be funny, like getting a true name nemesis from your graveyard and then putting this on it. Or Lazarusing a Stoneforge Mystic. And then it could get something else. Let's just do a little scroll through. Yeah, I thought the Wise Man was like kind of interesting. Vintage bobbleheads. We'll have to save that for next stream. Oh, I think Mr. House is obviously interesting because like this is I think the first die rolling big card. Yeah, oh yeah, vintage bobbleheads with workshops. Yes, I'm just gonna go through the colors real quick. Point out anything we saw that was like particularly interesting. Codsworth, Handy Helper. That was kind of cool, just because even the ward ability I think is interesting. Obviously, great Voltron card. And again, for specking purposes, not like general playability. Over Encumbered, kind of neat, maybe not good enough. I feel this is a card that maybe some like Commander streamer will make a video about and will like totally wreck someone and then be like, oh my god, that's so goofy. Let's see what else. Yeah, pre-formal warwear, pre-war formal wear. Vault Dweller's Journey is like kind of interesting, but just like not too great, I think, for Mana's a lot. Likewise, this was a little interesting for zombies. Base and Bright. Yeah, I liked Mirelure Queen. That was the one I was very interested in, because you don't need to do as much to get this going. And I think it's like pretty wide. It could be in a mill deck, it could not be in a mill deck. Rad Storm obviously has some potential, but like everyone's already into it, so there's no money. Struggle for Project Purity I think is very good in Tribal Time Walks. Vexing Radgull I think is very interesting. Especially because like it's proliferate on hit, or it makes rad counters. Interesting rogue card. I saved it, but I don't know if Butch will. I don't know if rogues can turn the dial. Fair Ghoul, obviously very interesting in zombies in general. Hancock, Ghoulish Mare, kind of interesting. I think maybe not good enough, but could get there. Nuclear Fallout that people know about. Ruthless Radroach has some potential because its squad cost isn't mana. And maybe there's some bullshit you can do there. Maybe even in Crick, you know, you can put a ton of rats into play and then you sacrifice them to Ashnod's altar and then you can play a real big spell. It's not a Rube Goldberg machine. Vats is cool. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Also, it's like 4 mana split second, potentially kill a lot of stuff. Necropolis might be something the zombie players like. Bottle Cap Blast, interesting removal. Grim Reaper's Sprint, interesting Relentless Assault. Speckable, interesting Relentless Assault. Ian the Reckless. Kind of messed up. Just kind of messed up a little, potentially. Just, like, broken stuff down. I like Megaton's Fate. I think this is a good, like, general card. Mysterious Stranger might be something Time Walk Tribal people want. If you can control... as long as you can, like, kind of manipulate what's in your opponent's graveyard to some degree. Like, get cards in there that are good. I thought these two, Synth Eradicator and Toolkill Disciple, were like interesting open-ended cards, but like I think they're too low power level in general to kind of make a play on, like too small ball. House Gambit's interesting. Obviously it depends on how many treasures it can give you, but if you play turn 2, by turn 3, or turn 4 I mean, say you get 3 treasures, 2 to 3 treasures, could be a big game. Wild Wasteland is Red's Phyrexian Arena. I think this will be potentially very interesting to get. Maybe you're supposed to even pre-order this, honestly. Because like Phyrexian Arena I think is still like $4. Despite being like reprinted a ton. Animal Friend, no. Breakdown, uncommon. Maybe if there's some like alternate version you might be able to pick up some stuff on. I think Cathedral Acolyte is just an interesting card in general, also uncommon. Narrow. I don't understand Bob Harold for Snowman's, like an old growth troll, but weirder. Yeah, a lot of green cards are just very narrow. Tato Farmer. Cool card, not crazy. Watchful Radstag, very interesting. Those are my loose thoughts so far. And yeah, I'll be back maybe Wednesday, wrap this up. So yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, click like, follow for more Magic and other random gaming goodness I do.